Iago Kiladze and Rayford Johnson in the cruiserweight division, scheduled for 8 rounds. Johnson, heavy underdog against Kiladze, who is 22-1 with 15 knockouts from the Ukraine. And he'll have a substantial height and reach advantage in this contest. And we'll see if he gets a chance to use it well.
The one thing that you see with Lago right away, he has a serious reach advantage. And he's utilizing the jab very much like Klitschko.
He looked a little Klitschko-esque in landing that right hand against an opponent coming in.
Well, Rayford, I met him in the lobby, and he explained to me that Lago doesn't understand who he's in a ring with tonight. That he's strong, don't look at the record, he fought some incredible opponents, that he thinks Lago don't have the experience that Johnson has.
Step back.
It's true to an extent. It's not that you lost, it's who you lost to.
And a lot of guys, if they don't have the big record, that's how they're going to feel about themselves, because they have, in their minds, very good competition. Johnson is 5-12 in his last 17, so he's never been put in as the guy who's being built up. He's in against a guy who is on his way up, 22-1 with 15. Now, what about for Johnson, as he goes southpaw for a second, try to overcome that reach disadvantage?
We had a conversation in the lobby, like I said, and I asked him a very, very important question. I said, I know you have to be on the inside. How do you get there? And he told me the answer was come behind a jab. He hasn't implemented that yet. He's not sliding his feet behind his jab. He told, like right there, he threw a jab, he just slide his feet behind it. That's what he needs to do. So he told me, they go to jab, but he's not moving his feet. And that's what's prohibiting him to get his distance. Boxing is about angles, distance, timing. All that's got to play in one shot.
Also the fact that he ate a right hand early in this round, that can discourage a little bit of that movement right in.
Well, his hands are down by his hips. I mean, there's a lot of errors that Johnson's making right here. The rule is bend down to the punches. Don't let your punches bend down to you. So what happens is he's fighting with his hands at his wayside instead of letting his face be behind his hands. As you can see, he's overly exposed here as we look at him.
In the meantime, for Kiladze, he's doing a good job with the reach, and there's a good body shot behind the jab. And he's comfortable with where he is right now. And he's flicking that jab out and utilizing his reach, about 4 inches.
That's what he's supposed to be. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Rayford is either filling him out the first round, maybe you'll see something in the second round, make it more competitive of a fight. But I like the way Lago looks. I mean, I think he's on his way.
Second round action, Iago Kiladze and Rayford Johnson in the cruiserweight division. It's a good first round for Kiladze, who had the distance and fighting with a lot of confidence with that.
Looks very good, Kiladze. I think that Kiladze is utilizing his boxing ability and the amateur experience he's had, where Rayford Johnson hasn't had any amateur experience. He turned pro from street fighting. So that's showing up here if you see the experience level of Kiladze, what he's doing by keeping him on the outside, never allowing Rayford Johnson to get on the inside. Rayford Johnson is waiting for it to happen rather than making it happen. That's a dilemma he's having now.
I think he's a bit perplexed trying to get behind that jab of Kiladze, sneak in, because then you make a bad move and you can get nailed with a hook or an uppercut. Look at that jab popping into Johnson.
Well, Johnson's hands are down by his waist. The problem with Johnson is that his hands are so low, he doesn't have an idea on how to neutralize a jab. The way in boxing you neutralize a jab is blocking. They got hit with a right hand.
Well, he's frozen now. He can't get into any kind of a rhythm. He should be bobbing and weaving, but he's bobbing and weaving going backward.
Yeah, and he's bobbing with his hands down. So, you know, you got to protect your face. His hands are at his waist-side, and there you go, he got hit again.
And you know, all of this is understandable to a guy who come in and he can tell you what he wants to do and how he sees the fight in his mind going in there. And then he gets in with Kiladze, and Kiladze is a good puncher and has had excellent balance. Good right hand by Kiladze.
Reach advantage, height advantage. Johnson told me he fought a guy that was 6'2", and he knocked him out in 3 rounds. I don't see that taking place today.
Now, Kiladze is a guy on the border of world-class level.
I would definitely show he's displaying that now, showing great control, great patience. He's not overcommitting. So those are the things you look for when you see a guy that's going to be champion of the world. Now, Rayford, he needs to get back to the jab, pick his hands up. He's got a good head movement, but he's not doing anything off the movement.
Right, he needs to do that movement on the inside, but he has to get there first, and that's the big thing. You're going to walk into the uppercut first.
He's got to throw the jab and slide behind it. Like I said, we had this discussion in the lobby. I explained to him, throw the jab and slide in behind it.
It was more peaceful in the lobby than it is right now for him as we come to the end of round 2.
With an uppercut right to the face. You see the effect of that on Johnson. Here go a nice left hook and a straight right hand right behind him, follow suit. Knocked him off balance. Didn't go down, but hey, maybe the next round.
And we start round 3 scheduled for 8. It's been a good start for Iago Kiladze from Kiev in Ukraine. He's 22-1, 15 knockouts. And he's in against the type of guy that would be designed, at least, to take him some rounds and try to show him some tricks and extend him a little bit without being a threat to him.
Well, there are 2 errors that Johnson keeps continuing to do. I'm sure his corner's telling him to do it right, but he might be doing it wrong. One is he has his hands down. He has head movement, but when you make a man miss, you have to make him pay. And there you go. There a great miss. Largo missed a right hand, and he didn't capitalize on it. You got to
right hands here, and there's an uppercut by Kiladze, and he's got Johnson in some trouble, and Johnson not tying up, Kevin.
I think Johnson had a game plan, like Tyson said. Everyone has one until you get hit, and that's exactly what happened here.
It's going to be hard for him to come up with a plan B as Kiladze is teeing off.
Johnson's defense is just questionable. He doesn't have his hands up. He's moving his head. I just think it's a matter of time.
It's an ideal matchup for Kiladze, and he is making it look that way.
His target
Good right hand.
Target practice right now. I think Johnson is in some serious trouble, and the referee's going to take a close look at him as the round's going on. He's taking tremendous punches.
2 big shots there, drive him back.
Oh, that buck with the legs. He looks like he's about to go.
3 more shots here.
He's moving their head, but like I said, the hands are by the wayside where they shouldn't be. They got to be blocking the face. They got to be blocking the face.
In a way, Kiladze can't miss him.
He's target practice right now.
Big right hand by Kiladze. They have to take a good look. Johnson has to be firing back to keep the referee off him from stopping it. Good right hand by Kiladze. Look at all the time he has to load up.
Well, when your opponent's hands are down, you have nothing to worry about.
Well,
you know,
for Kiladze, this is one of those matchups that might be designed to give him some rounds. so far Johnson is giving him no trouble.
Well, Johnson, I give one thing due credit. He's tough. He's taken a few shots that I would think would knock out the normal man, and he's not down. So I do give him credit on that.
Right hand by Kiladze. Left hook. Sneaky right by Johnson. Did get through. That's a slip. As the round comes to a close.
Feeling good? Taking a lot of shots up there.
Take a look at some of that
Take a look.
here.
There's some shots that Johnson received clean on the chin. It seemed like Largo can't miss him. Here go a nice little hook, side of the air, and then coming straight right hand right behind it. Very good schooling. Very good schooling with the right hand.
Boy, that hurts even here.
I felt the
Seeing
sweat. I felt the sweat that one.
Fourth round action. Iago Kiladze, we were told, had in round 3 a 40-1 advantage in punches landed against Rayford Johnson. We saw the right hand by Johnson get in at the end, but what a ratio. And it's something that corner of Johnson should have to take some notice to, that he's not in this.
Well, I believe two things happened. The conversation that we had earlier, he sounded like he was trained to do something. Sometimes a fighter learns something in the gym, and then when they get to the fight, things change. And that's what you see a lot of times. And I think I'm not blaming the corner as much as I'm blaming Johnson probably for not putting what they trained him to do to work. When I had a conversation with him, he sounded very positive and constructive, but I'm sure that the punching power of Largo changed that idea.
Yeah, there's the end of the comfort zone.
Yeah, and right now, I don't see the jab that we discussed. He's stepping behind the jab. You know, you got to shorten the range. He's allowing Largo to have way too much room, and he's not getting on the inside. He's shortening the distance, and this is why Largo has such an advantage over him.
So Kiladze, good left hook and a right hand. Staying on the outside, good right hand. Taking what's there, he's jabbing, loading up. Now, what about the fact, Kevin, that is it just because Johnson, you think, is in a bit of a survivor mode that we haven't seen Kiladze put the finishing touches on this?
Well, Kiladze, I believe also he's being cautious and he's being smart. You know, as you go up in the rounds and as you go up in the ranks, you have to be more cautious of guys like this veteran that's in the ring with Johnson. Because he's a veteran, he knows how to survive. But then again, on the other hand, we're going to question his killer instinct. We have to.
Well, we mentioned fights designed for rounds for him, and that's what he's getting. And he came out blazing in the first couple rounds. Again, he's got Johnson in perfect position.
It seems like Kiladze don't want to commit. That's the question mark. He wants to stay on the outside in his comfort zone. In boxing, you have to eventually step out your comfort zone and go get your man.
Maybe he thought this guy would be gone by now with what he's nailed him with. But in any case, Johnson has made it to the halfway point of the fight. Almost. Or maybe not. It's over. There's a quick burst. Just how you like that for a guy seeing an opportunity and just going with it and giving you that killer instinct at the end of the round.
Yeah, well, that was more of a seasoned professional the way he looked. Not like a young guy turned amateur, turned pro. He took his time. He was patient. He put them together. We would question his killer instinct. We sure was. But at the end of the day, he answered our question and finished the fight.
With just seconds remaining in round 4. That was a quick unleashing because there were maybe about like 6 or 7 seconds left in that round when he saw that opening, and this is what he did.
Here you see a straight right hand that seemed to hurt Johnson, and sure, Kiladze seemed to take advantage of it. And right here you see the punch, the hook that set the punch up right there. That's the punch that did all the damage. And after that, the ref's taking a very close look, and he steps in and saves Johnson.
Almost took one himself.
Yeah, well, sometimes I've seen refs get hit with shots, just like that one. That was a tremendous punch, right hand. He doubled the right hand, as you can see. I mean, he was right hand crazy with them. Now, there go the hook. That punch ended the fight right there. I mean, ref said no more.
And you've got to jump in. All right, let's get the final numbers.
Boxing fans, the time, 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 4. Your winner by TKO from Kiev in the Ukraine,